walk for the USA Cares. We're ready to do our 5K, so let's get started. I'm here with my tribe, so let's go.
Yeah.
USA, USA. Thanks for all you do, USA Cares.
Okay, people, I just finished my virtual 5K in support of USA Cares. I'm challenging each and every one of you guys to go out there and knock out that virtual 5K.
I would like to welcome everyone to another segment of Lift Up Lou. My name is John Miles, and I represent the Office for Veterans, which is an advocacy and outreach office under the Office of Resilience and Community Services for Louisville Metro government. Our office is the voice of the city government for all veterans in Louisville Metro and Jefferson County. Also, I would be your moderator for tonight's segment. A major part of my work is being able to connect veterans with the right resources and services in our community. Some of the organizations I partner with, as well as collaborate with, include Robert Rex Veterans Hospital, Volunteers of America, Veterans Community Alliance of Louisville, and the Veterans Club, just to name a few. However, tonight, I would like to introduce you to an organization that is near and dear to my heart because their mission means so much, not only to veterans in our community, but also veterans across this great nation. Tonight, I would like to introduce both CEO of USA Cares, Trace Chester, and USA Cares Communications Manager, Aubrey Gonzalez. Say hello, everybody.
Hello. Thanks, John.
Let's start tonight's segment with Mr. Chester. Trace, please tell our listening audience about USA Cares, their mission and goals.
John, thanks for having us on here. USA Cares mission is to provide post 9/11 military members, veterans, and their families with emergency financial assistance and post-service skills training to help build a foundation for stability long term. We want to try to help them to get into a better place. A lot of our veterans and military members right now, especially, are going through a lot. Everything from the isolation, from the social distancing, to just the normal, what we see every day of veterans that are going through difficult transitions. And sometimes they lose their sense of purpose. So we're dealing with a lot right now. We love our veterans. We love our military. I'm a combat veteran myself, so this is very near and dear to my heart. So we appreciate you allowing us to come here.
Not a problem. Thank you for being here. And like yourself, I am also a combat vet, and I share that same interest with you. That's why USA Cares touched my heart so much, because so many lives that you guys affect. You change, you're a life changer. And that means a lot to a whole lot of veterans who come back from combat, who come back to a lot of different situations that they had didn't have when they left the United States. Nobody's never prepared for this. But when reality hits, we're so glad that there's organizations out there in our community that can reach out and help us in need. And I'm sure you do get a lot of requests. Tell us about some of those requests that you receive.
Well, I tell you, we get a lot of different requests. I'd like for Aubrey to go through and kind of tell you, we have like 4 core programs. So Aubrey, why don't you explain to everyone kind of what we see, and then I'll explain the volume of what we see. Sure
can. So we look at it almost in a holistic way because all our programs are connected. We really start out with, there's the emergency assistance program. And what that really does is it focuses on the, when stress that a service member and their family is going through is related to their military service, and it's something financial that they just can't live without. We're talking immediate essential bills, food, utility bills, things that you just can't go without. So we cover those with our emergency assistance program. Another program, probably the program that we see the most need, is our housing assistance program, and that's preventing post 9/11 veterans and their families from losing their home, whether it's a foreclosure or an eviction. We are providing them with financial assistance to take care of that need so that they don't find themselves on the street. That's probably the biggest one. We get a ton of cases, ton of requests for housing assistance. So that is the bulk of where a lot of our funding goes to. We also provide a combat injury program, and that program pays basic expenses for a veteran who's diagnosed with PTSD, TBI, brain injury, military sexual trauma, or other combat-related injuries. So if they need to get treatment, say for PTSD, they need to attend a program and they don't normally want to because they'd have to lose their job, leave their job, then there'd be no income for the family. We say, you take care of you, focus on getting better, we'll take care of your family, we'll take care of their bills while that veteran is in treatment. Then the last one that we do a lot with is career transition. And this is kind of a twofold situation. We provide veterans with tools, veterans and military spouses, with tools and career training, resources to better prepare them for the hiring process. We refer qualified candidates to corporate organizations with open positions of employment that is really specific to the skill sets that they are familiar with. But we also take care of an individual's essential expenses when they're training for a new job, relieving the financial barrier that keeps them from getting into a career. So if somebody just recently got a job and it's going to be 2 weeks before they get sick, and maybe they can't go 2 weeks without some sort of funding, to pay for groceries or pay for fuel to get to the new job, we'll take care of them. Another part of this program, though, is our senior leaders program that we do in conjunction. It's really a U.S. Army or U.S. military program that we facilitate, but Trace really works with this program quite a bit, so I would probably throw it to him to talk a little bit more about it.
So I'll tell you real quick, the Senior Leader Corporate Fellowship Program, as Aubrey mentioned, it does fall under the Career Transition Program. So it is one piece of our 4 core programs. That program, we can take service members that are senior level, so E7 and above, captains and above, and we can put them in an 8-week fellowship with a corporation before they retire out of the military. That's probably the key thing to mention there. We're talking about senior leaders, so they're going to be retiring. They're not going to be the 4-year, 5-year service member. And a lot of that stems from the demographics of Fort Knox. It's almost all senior leaders now. There's none of the younger combat armed soldiers hanging out there. It's mostly, the recruiting command, the human resource command, ROTC command, and then a large reserve command group. So that's why it started as the Senior Leader Corporate Fellowship Program. But what it's done now is it's expanded beyond Fort Knox, and it's not just U.S. Army. This is actually a joint service program. So we have actually had members of U.S. Army, Army Reserve that are AGR. We've had National Guard that's full-time. We have our first Air Force member that's coming up that's going to be participating in the program. We just had a Navy person, super, super sharp guy, that went through the program. He did his fellowship with Beam Centauri. And we have a Marine that's going to be coming up, not this next cohort, but the following. So we've had everybody but the Coast Guard. So I need a Coast Guard volunteer. So
I'm sure you see a lot of success stories. Tell us a little bit about some of the success stories of a E7 or above who's coming out of Fort Knox, who is looking to make Louisville their home.
John, I think that's probably the greatest point to make. And I don't have to just say just Fort Knox. I could say anywhere because, like say, this gentleman that came from the Navy came from California, San Diego, came here, went through the program, and is now going to be calling Louisville home. So we're attracting people from all over the country to come here. I think that's probably one of the greatest things is USA Cares has become an attraction model to bring service members to the Louisville region. Whether if that's Hardin County, Jefferson County, Bullets, Shelby, Oldham, or Southern Indiana, I mean, we're bringing people here. They're participating in the program, and we've seen a tremendous success. In 2019, we had just over 90% placement from the program. It was unheard of. I mean, it was just unreal. And their average salaries were really up there. So everyone was super happy with the program. Aubrey's husband, Joe Gonzalez, is a participant and actually got his job. I'll go ahead and say it. Hello Spoke. I don't know if I was supposed to say it or not, but at Hello Spoke, it's an IT company. So Joe is in the IT field, and he participated in the program. He had a job offer before he even finished the 8 weeks. So when he went back and finished up and left just weeks after that, he went straight into his full-time job.
I mean, I can honestly speak to the mental state that, you know, so many of the veterans that come through our programs, you know, they're whether they're coming to us for emergency, you know, or they're going through career transition, there's always that fear of the unknown, you know, whether how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to feed my family? What am I going to do for a job? And I know I can speak from experience that we were, as Joe transitioned out of the military, we were getting a little worried, like, okay, what are we looking at? What's going to be, you know, what are you going to do? We didn't know. And, you know, it caused us some significant stress. And when he went through this program and he made it through, and before, again, like Trace was saying, before the 8 weeks was up, and they said, hey, we want to offer you a job. Can you take a job before it's up? And we said, no, you got to wait. But the level of stress that was removed from our shoulders, that relief we were able to feel. And I said to Joe, we got to figure something out, because I can't get USA Cares services. But, you know, that level of relief that we experienced when he was going through this program, and all the things that he'd come home, it was interesting as being part of the program, being affiliated with USA Cares, but then also hearing from him, wow, I didn't know how to do this, and I didn't know what I had on my resume was wrong. I didn't know that I wasn't marketing myself properly. And it was really a learning experience for both of us to kind of see it from both sides. So it was really, really good for us to be able to have that relief and not worry getting out, oh my gosh, what am I going to do next? So it's a great program.
That is fantastic. And I congratulate Joe for his accomplishments. I'm sure it was very stressful, because coming off of active duty, you almost have to learn a whole new language. You have to learn how to restructure your resume, and you have to change how you tell your story to a company who has no idea what an MOS is, or some of the other military lingo that we're used to saying for 20, 30 years, or however long that you're in service. Now, going back to some of the requests that you receive from veterans, have you seen an increase since we're going through this pandemic, through this COVID-19? Have you seen an increase in your requests from veteran families?
Yes, we have. We've actually expanded the 4 core programs to try to add a piece in there that if it's related to the COVID-19, we can try to work with people beyond our normal capabilities, because we understand. I mean, we're struggling with it as well. Our whole staff, all of us, are working remote, and that took some adjustments. I was very concerned about that. And I was honestly very concerned for our staff because of the social distancing and the fact that everyone was going to start working remote. I don't think anyone quite understood the stress, the unknown, you know, at first it sounds pretty cool. Go home and work and, you know, and just hang out at home. After about a week, I started noticing things. We have, you know, Aubrey puts together a weekly staff call, so that I can look into the eyes of each and every staff member. And we've identified some that are kind of struggling a little bit with some of the depression, the stress, the anxiety. And so I say all that to say, if it's doing that to us, you know it has a tremendous impact on our veterans that are already, you know, they're in the top 1% of our nation. And I always jokingly say that, but it's true, because if you take the total number of the population of the United States, it's over 330 million people. And then you take the total number of the military being just under 2 million, and you figure that out, that's 0.7%. So you've got 99% of us out here running around every day, and you have 0.7% that are wearing the uniform. That they go through some unique stress. And so I'm very concerned about our veterans. I'm concerned about our staff. I'm concerned about our neighbors, our community as a whole. But I'm very concerned about our veterans, because we believe that our services help to improve the quality of life for our veterans and their families, and can help to reduce those factors that can contribute to veteran suicide. But I want to say this, John, very, very clear. That is a concern that we have, is that the stress that service members may have already going through transition from the military, or they've been out, now maybe they lost a job, or they're having stress with their family and things, the unknown. I'm very concerned about the welfare of our veteran community and our active duty. Again, it's kind of a dual thing here. You know, we care for our active duty, our Guard, and our Reserve, and our veterans, but I'm very concerned about them all.
And you know, I was going to ask you next, and I know it's affecting our veterans and the community in so many ways, and especially for the ones who are in quarantine, the ones who have lost employment, who are sitting at home with a whole lot of uncertainty. But I also wondered about active duty as well. Yeah. How much of an effect this is having with our active duty soldiers, sailors, airmen, or Marines? And do you see that type of increase or that type of volume coming your way on a daily basis?
We are.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Trace.
No, I was just going to say, being a former senior leader, and a lot of my old friends are still active duty. We're hearing it. We're seeing it. They're doing a tremendous job. I mean, they are not just serving overseas, fighting the war on terrorism, but now they're fighting for the citizens here for their health. And so, Aubrey?
Yeah, I was going to say, you're seeing a lot of service members, National Guard, that are being placed at the front lines of their communities to fight this thing, you know, to provide supplemental support, to provide guidance to the community. You know, there's a lot of people who are not trained, you know, for these sort of situations and for these massive public emergencies, which the military is. They are trained for this. So a lot of them are being called upon to come into service and say, hey, we need you to help us keep the community together. And in the same breath, you figure, okay, that's a lot of people that are out in the neighborhood, out in the community, possibly facing exposure to this virus. And a lot of those people are also saying, I don't want to bring that back home to my family. So then you have a lot of service members that are staying in hotels, that are not staying in the home, that are staying in the basement, trying to separate themselves from their family members so their family members are not potentially exposed. Then you have the service members that maybe they were on their way coming home. Maybe they were deployed somewhere, they were on their way, and they were put in a stop hold saying, no, you're not coming back right now because we're on a lockdown, we're on a quarantine. So now we're in the military trial. And this is that time, that month that we're supposed to celebrate military children and their resiliency and their bravery, because children serve too. They may have not signed up for it, but they're kind of along for the ride, and they sacrifice quite a bit. And so there's also a lot of military children right now that, you know, are, in addition to children who are not military, who are dealing with a lot of things that are uprooted in their world. And you have quite a few military children that aren't seeing their family members, aren't being able to hang out with their parents. You know, a lot of us are tired of hanging out with our parents. A lot of kids are right now, but there are quite a few that can't see them because they're on the front line, and you know, they don't want to expose their families. There's a lot of different stress factors at play here. And we normally get about 250 requests a week for assistance. So people saying, hey, I can't pay this bill. Hey, I'm about to lose my house. Hey, I can't feed my family. We get like about 250 a week. And with the COVID related requests, I mean, that's hundreds of requests on top of those as well. So it's really important for us right now to be raising funds to support these people.
John,
Wow,
I just want to jump in and say real quick, I had it wrote down. I thought maybe you might ask the question. We have seen a 60% increase in requests, and since April 1st, 20 days ago, we've had 297 requests that have indicated that it's something in some form or fashion involving COVID-19.
Oh my goodness. So COVID-19 has had a tremendous effect on our community, on our active duty, and on our guardsmen here in Louisville, and airmen as well. We haven't even mentioned the airmen out at Louisville International, and I'm sure there's stress factors, pucker factors that we would say in the military that is very tight because of all the uncertainty. And if you are suffering from PTSD, which a lot of our combat veterans do suffer from, and TBI, and that's another layer of stress that we haven't even, that you really don't even consider. And it's very important that we take that in consideration, everyone, as we go forward, because our military does take a lot of blunt impact from this COVID-19, more than you think, and veterans as well. To curve that a little bit, you have developed a program that I want you to talk briefly about to help as a morale builder and help take all the stress off of people's minds and kind of lift people's spirits up, because a lot of us, not everyone, is at home right now. Kids are at home. A lot of our veterans, a lot of our active duty coming off of duty are not working right now, and they're at home. So USA Cares has given our community an outlet to take advantage of so that we can curb some of this stress. And Aubrey, I just want you to talk a little bit about that and let the community know what's going on at USA Cares.
Hey, absolutely. I'd be happy to. We are giving people an opportunity to get active, to get out of the house, fight the cabin fever, and do something really, really positive at the same time. And the way we're doing this is we launched back in March 25th, a virtual 5K. It's called the Keep Your Distance virtual 5K. And when I first heard about this, I was like, I don't really know how this works. I need to figure this out. And it's such a cool thing because everybody can do it. What it is it's a 5K, and you can walk it, you can run it, you can do it at whatever pace you want. You have 2 weeks to complete it. So we have people sign up online, they register, just like you're registering for a turkey trot or any other type of race, okay? So you sign up online, and you could use your Fitbit, you could use any fitness tracker app. I've got like 3 of them on my phone. I don't know why I'm not that fit. But you can use all sorts of apps that track your walk, track your steps. And what you do is you sign up for this and you do your 5K in small amounts, all at once, however you want to do it, on the treadmill, on the street, running around the house after a 2-year-old. And you take a screenshot of your finished 5K and a picture of yourself, nice little selfie, and you send it on to USA Cares. And that's the proof that you share to show that you've done the 5K. All the proceeds from this are going to support veterans during this crisis. All the proceeds are going towards keeping lights on, keeping food on the table, making sure people don't lose their homes, helping them get through this. Because this, pardon the way I say this, this sucks. You know, there are better things that we could be looking forward to than hanging out in our house staring at the walls. So I'm encouraging everybody, I'm challenging everybody to get outside, get some fresh air. Exercise is fantastic for the mind. It's fantastic for the body. And it's going to give you something to look forward to. My family did it. I was so looking forward to taking walks in the evening with my family. Once we finished our 5K, I need to go find some more to do, because this was a really great thing for us to look forward to do and get out. And the weather in Louisville is beautiful right now. It's the perfect time to get out there and do it.
That is great. So what kind of response have you seen to this? Are there lots of people participating?
So many people. Trace?
Yeah, I started saying, I just got a text. Heather that works with us told me, she said, we're over 209 registrations, and that encompasses over, well, it's 27 states. So we have representation in 27 states in the United States. And there's more people registering.
I think 28 now, because one just registered.
All right, 28 now, 28 states.
That's great. So for those who aren't runners, this is okay to walk?
Absolutely. And what's really cool about this, because I'm not a runner. Don't let this fool you. No, I'm not a runner. And it worked out great because people of all ages can do this. I had my little one walking with me and my husband, and then we just had a 72-year-old and his 69-year-old wife, I should say years young, in Austin, Texas. They sent in their little proof that they completed the 5K. They're in Texas. They did it on their treadmill. And I do believe the gentleman is a Vietnam veteran himself. And it just goes to show that everybody can do it. And so many of us are looking for something to do right now. We've exhausted our Netflix accounts. We're tired of looking at each other in the house. Get outside, get some fresh air. This is a great opportunity to do that.
That is fantastic. So how do people sign up? I'm ready to sign up right now. Tell our listening audience, what do they need to do to sign up to be a runner or a walker?
Oh, it's so easy. All they have to do is go to usacares.org, www.usacares.org. And at the top of the screen, there is a button that will take you to the registration page. You can also find us on Run Sign Up. There's our Facebook page. There's our Twitter page. You can find it. It's plastered everywhere. And people are sharing it. And it's amazing how many people are getting behind this. I mean, I just looked at the map today of all the registrations, and they are just scattered across the nation. And they're all doing this for veterans. It's amazing.
That is fantastic. There you have it, everyone. There you have it. Get up off that sofa, put that bag of potato chips down. Don't let the four walls close in on you because you've been off from work or you've been quarantined. So with the help of US, and you can also, and at the same time, you'll be donating to a worthwhile organization who is doing great things for our veterans out here in the community. There's no better way. You'll be knocking out two birds with one stone.
You know,
I would like to think
too that I forgot to mention real quick, because this is really cool. So everybody likes a little extra something to show what they've accomplished, right? So what we did is we've got a medal. So after you finish your 5K, you are mailed a custom 5K medal, a finisher medal, and a certificate. And this medal is so cool. It looks like a Purell hand sanitizer bottle. So I know there's a lot of runners out there that collect medals. They have their whole little thing on their wall, like, look at everything I've done. And this one is going to be super unique, and really, it's definitely commemorating what we're going.
That is awesome.
But it's really,
and you get a medal. You can't beat that. You get a medal. You can get out of the house. Social distance. You know, we're not saying you can't walk with, you know, your son or daughter. You can exercise social distancing outside of the house. Walk around the neighborhood, walk around the park, Stay 6 to 10 feet apart from each other, and just have a good time. You can still have a great time. How can our audience get a hold of USA Cares in the event they have a financial crisis, or they need to talk to somebody about their personal situation? What would they need to do?
Well, I was going to say, I didn't mean to step in there. Just go to our website, usacares.org. And I always say that slow, ORG, because I have people tell me all the time, I can't find it. Yeah. .org. Go there, and the first thing you'll probably notice, besides the run, is do you need to apply for assistance? Go on there, fill out the application, and then apply for assistance. If you're a company or an organization that has some type of foundation or grants or something to help us, we will pass that through to the service members. So if there are corporations that want to do something, I mean, we are a 501c3. Our 990 is on the website. So if they want to help us to help the service members, then we will do that.
That's fantastic. And you're also on Facebook under USA Cares. How about Instagram? Is there an Instagram account?
There is USA Cares.
That is awesome.
Right.
That is wonderful. Win-win situation for us all. And I just hope this helps somebody out there this evening that has looking for something to do in the evening time to curb that tension in the house, or this gives you an outlet to call someone to help with your personal situation. I would like to thank both Trace Chester and Aubrey Gonzalez for stopping by again. Thank you for sharing. This is, I love you guys, and I look forward to our partnership and collaborating in the future. Again, everyone, my name is John Miles, and I would like to thank everyone for viewing tonight's segment of Lift Up Lou. If you have any questions for myself, the Office for Veterans, please contact me at 574-5748. Have a great night, and God bless.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Thank you.